Hello and welcome to episode 5 of the Andrew Marinian podcast. Today I'm going to be talking about procrastination, what I do when I'm procrastinating, things that help me stop procrastinating, talk a little bit about motivation. Hopefully something I say today helps you. Thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate it. If you have been enjoying the podcast, please make sure you toss it a like, follow me. If you're on YouTube, tap that subscribe button. Takes like half a second. And make sure you comment down below things you want me to talk about, something from this maybe that helped you, other ideas you have for dealing with procrastination and helping yourself feel more motivated. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, how do I stop procrastinating? The first thing I want to do is just define procrastination. I have it up on my phone here. So, procrastination is the action of delaying or postponing something. So, usually the reason that we procrastinate is because whatever we want to do or think we should be doing is too overwhelming even to start. So there's a few strategies I use, but another thing I want to get across is the understanding and definition of motivation and sort of the motivation cycle, and just talk about how motivation works, and because it's often a misunderstood concept. So a lot of times people think that motivation leads to action, which leads to results, which leads to more motivation. And they think that motivation is the first step in that process. So, they want to go to the gym, but they're sitting on the couch and they're just like, I'm just not feeling motivated right now. I'll go to the gym when I'm feeling motivated. So that is not how motivation works. Motivation doesn't just manifest itself out of nothing. If you want to go to the gym, if you want to start a paper, if you want to start working on a project, the thought that motivation is just going to come up out of nothing is false. It's not the right way to think about it. It's not how it works. And the way that it works is, so you have those three things that I just mentioned: motivation, action, results. So motivation is not the first step. The first step is action, is taking action, just doing something. And once you take action, it will lead to some sort of results, which will then lead to more motivation. So the first step is not the feeling of motivation. That's actually the last step in that process. And it is a cycle. So the first step, though, is taking action, just doing something. It may not be what you want to hear, but that is how it works. So if you're sitting on the couch and you're like, I'll go to the gym when I'm feeling motivated, that's it's never going to come. The first thing you have to do is just get your ass off the couch and go to the gym. Like, that's it, the plain truth. Like, you got to just take that action, which will lead to results, which will lead to feeling more motivated to continue taking that action. But the first step is actually just taking action. So, understanding that that is the process may be enough to help you feel more motivated to just start realizing that you have to start to continue that process and eventually feel motivated. So if you're procrastinating with something, just start, just do something, literally anything. And the other thing I wanted to talk about was that sometimes just starting can be difficult. It's often the most difficult part of this process is starting. So a tactic I like to use is setting mini goals or breaking down whatever I want to accomplish into smaller segments, because oftentimes we're procrastinating because whatever we want to do just feels too big to accomplish. It feels too overwhelming to even start. And starting, just getting going with it, just getting over that hurdle of starting is oftentimes the most difficult thing that we face when there's something we want to accomplish. Once we start, it gets the ball rolling. It leads to, some sort of results, which leads to more motivation. And then you'll take more action. And once the ball's rolling, it just keeps rolling. But making that first push, getting the ball started, is oftentimes the hardest part. So using something like mini goals is a great way to just start. And so I'll just give you a few examples. Say you have a 10-page paper that you want to write. So you're sitting on the couch, you're like, I have this 10-page paper due in 2 days. Like, I should really start, but I just don't want to. It's just like, oh, that's so many pages to write. It's it's crazy. Like, I can't start. It's too much. So what you can do is break that down into mini goals, into smaller tasks. Like, instead of setting a goal of writing a 10-page paper, set a goal of writing 1 page. Set a goal of writing 1 sentence. Set a goal of writing 1 word. And that will make it less overwhelming, make it easier to start. And once you get started, usually, say, for example, you set a goal of writing 1 word. You have to go through the process of, say, you're writing it on your laptop, opening up your computer, opening up a Word document, starting. And then once you write 1 word, maybe you have some ideas come to mind. Then you write a sentence. Then you write a paragraph. All of a sudden, you're 3 pages in. And it's like, there you go. You set that goal of writing 1 word. It led to 3 pages. And then you can take a break and writing that amount, or maybe you only wrote 1 page. And that is, far more than you would have ever accomplished by keeping that goal of writing 10 pages and not doing anything. So something is always better than nothing. Another example is, if you want to go to the gym, but you don't feel like it, or you're not in the mood, or you're waiting for motivation to manifest itself, set a goal of just putting your gym clothes on, or set a goal of getting in the car to go to the gym. At that point, you might as well just drive to the gym, or set a goal of, once you get to the gym, doing 1 set of an exercise you like. Then usually once you finish that set, you're like, fuck, well, I might as well do a full workout. Sometimes for me, like, I'm not feeling very motivated to go to the gym, I'll set one of those goals. And then once I'm there, I start to feel a little bit better. And by the end of it, it's like I got a really good workout in, maybe one of the best workouts I've had in weeks. And it feels so much better knowing how close I was to not even going and then finishing the workout. And I always feel better afterwards. So, um, so yeah, I think mini goals can be incredibly helpful when it comes to procrastination. Understanding that motivation doesn't just manifest itself, and the process of feeling motivated uh, isn't feeling motivated, then taking action, then getting results. It is taking action, just doing something, which will lead to some sort of results, which will then lead to feeling more motivated, taking more action, getting more results, feeling more motivated. But that first step is taking action. So if you're procrastinating, if you have something you really want to get done, you just can't find the motivation to do it, just start. And maybe you need to break down those goals into mini goals that can help at least get the ball rolling, because typically starting is by far the hardest part. Once you start, once you get that ball rolling, it is much easier to continue than just starting from cold. So that is everything that I wanted to say about procrastination and motivation. I hope something I said was helpful to you. If you did find it helpful, toss it a like. Make sure you subscribe if you're on YouTube. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will talk to you in the next episode. Peace.